All right, y'all, we have a problem. Iman Gadzhi deleted his videos. Don't blame me. Now, we knew he was going to be doing this. If you subscribe to the channel, he talked about this in the beginning of, the year of 2025. Man, time's flying. But the one thing is gone, but he still has the playlist, which if you don't have access to it, if you don't know anything about YouTube, you could unlist videos, but if the playlist is public, you could still have access to the videos and, these videos are gone. But he does this quite often. But one thing I found funny is that he's taking down this video, but if we click on it, right, pause it, you notice that he timed that down literally to the hour. I just found that pretty funny, right? Like I'm taking this down 24 hours, 10, 8, 6, 2, 1. Like he had a lot of titles for this video. But, if you know anything about Iman, he does this quite often. If you go to the view channel analytics, channel stats, 4 million views are gone. And if you scroll back in 6 months, 18 million, views are gone. What's going on here? But this happens so often that there are channels that are built on following deleted Iman videos, right? Like Iman Gadzhi deleted his digital renaissance, which I think before that was like the digital sovereignty, which before that was, I don't know, I'm losing count. But if you don't know anything about these ones, he just so happens to be deleting or unlisting the videos that just happen to have a funnel. But if you don't know what the funnel for the one thing was, it was his Monetise platform, which is only $1,000 for the year, right? It's just his new personal brand blueprint. I don't know what that means, but one thing that interests me is that he just recently created a new video. This is if you started a YouTube channel in 2025, what you would do. And as someone who recently just got monetized, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, I'm making money on YouTube. It's not much, but I feel like it's the most realistic number that most people would be making. I'll cover my analytics later in the video, but I feel like we should talk about this and we should watch it.
So for the longest time, I was probably in the same position you're in right now, which is you have these thoughts, you have these aspirations of starting a YouTube channel, or maybe you already have started a YouTube channel, but you just don't feel.
Man, one thing I'll always give him props on is the quality of his videos. It's top-notch editing, top-notch script writing, top-notch like preparation, the B-roll, the cinematic, shots, all of it. It's crazy. I give him props on that.
Like it's getting the traction you want, or that maybe you even feel like you deserve. I was in that exact same position. I've been on YouTube for, this will be my 10th year right now, and it took me so long to crack.
He has been doing this for over a decade. I give him his props on that too. Like he knows, if anything, I think what he started off early with the whole agency accelerator, the whole SMMA process, just like how Jordan was doing drop shipping. Like they were early in the game on this. They got here first. But it's hard to make a YouTube channel today. Like literally, it's hard. There are many gaming channels that fail. There are many clip channels that fail. There are many shorts channels that fail. So I'm actually interested in what he's gonna say.
The YouTube code. But when it did, I can tell you right now, take away my stocks, take away my real estate portfolio, take away my companies. If you leave me a YouTube, I know that I will be a multimillionaire for the rest of my life. And that is truly the power of YouTube.
That's gonna be hard to do. I don't know about y'all, but if you were to take away someone's brand, if you were to take away Mr. Beast being Mr. Beast, right? If you were to take away and strip someone of their brand and tell them to start scratch, let's be honest, it'd be really hard for someone to do that without the access, without the network, without the videos, the money, you just can't do it, right?
When you do it correctly. And by the way, what I'm gonna show you right now isn't just how to build a YouTube channel and get millions and millions of subscribers. Like, yeah, sure, fair enough, this channel has a lot of those. But I have separate channels. I have a vlog channel, and that fulfills a very specific purpose and helps drive growth of some of my businesses. For example, like my eyewear company, and that's more the focus of that. And then I have smaller niche channels, like my business channel, that is specifically targeted to successful.
He does talk about that. Here, I forgot to show y'all this, but this is his funnel, right? This is the Iman Gadzhi $100 million brand playbook, right? And essentially, I'm going to be talking to mainly content creators this video. If you don't know, as content creation grows, as you scale, you need to find a way to monetize, funnel, convert your audience. And Iman Gadzhi separated his entire brand into two parts, right? Physical, he has like a sunglasses company, a drink, like a sparkly water, and more of a software consultation, ad agency side of things. Now, if you were to look into this, right? As you make content, you have to understand that if you're able to convert your audience, then you make more money. That's how Iman's made his hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't doubt he's made his money. He has high ticket items, right? We talked about Monetise. It's $1,000. He made people buy it. If you were in that live stream, someone talked about how they purchased it, and I'm looking forward to that review. But He has sales pages to other products, right? He has sales pages to other products. He funnels most people to his agency accelerator or his Flowsy products. But let's get back to the video.
And existing business owners, and I don't speak to anyone except for my ideal client for my licensing business. So the reason I say that is because when I give you advice today, I want you to know that it's for the benefit of not only you personally, but your business, and it's really all about building an intentional personal brand. I'm not going to give you some advice or some YouTube Shorts hacks that's going to get you millions of views, but what are those views worth? Like what are we trying to accomplish here? Okay, so
if you're starting up a YouTube channel, realistically, the shorts are probably the easiest way to get to that like 1,000 subscriber goal, but I would cut it off there. Outside of that, YouTube Shorts, you have to understand what the whole goal of the YouTube Shorts is, just to be seen. But the first step is that you need to be able to monetize. And I hope he doesn't go into like the overbroad stuff, like building a niche, learning how to, it's like there's so many other channels that you can go to, like vidIQ, Think Media. There are so many, like Nate Black, Ed from Creator Booth.
So in today's video, I'm gonna show you if I had to start a YouTube channel again this year, this is exactly what I do to not only have a YouTube channel, but actually help it achieve my goals, both personally, financially, and in the business. So the day after Christmas in 2015, that is actually when I posted my first YouTube video, and looking back, this was genuinely one of the best decisions.
All right, what is this? Monetize if I started a YouTube channel in 2025, what do I do? Backflip, bicep, yeah, 2020, yeah. I think you can still start a fitness business, but you'd have to be able to structure it just in any niche. Realistically, you'd have to be able to understand that you can't just have fun, right? Back in the early days, there's so many gaming channels that are starting today that are just doing lazy let's plays, no commentary, AI voice. No one wants to watch that. Today, you have to be able to entertain, educate, or just simply be the only person in that random niche that you're, or that random topic that you're talking about.
I've ever made in my entire life. But quite frankly, it didn't always feel like that. You see, in fact, when I first started as a little kid with acne on my face, I was so stressed. I was so worried. What are people gonna think about me? Is this okay? Is this not okay? Is my content? Am I speaking well enough? Like you know what I'm talking about. You probably have a lot of these same thoughts right now. And don't worry. By the end of this video, that pressure you put on self, all of that.
Make sure y'all grab some water. I don't know about y'all, but whenever I'm watching one of these videos, he talks a lot. Like it's crazy. This is a 40-minute video.
Like putting YouTube on a pedestal, all of that will be alleviated. Not only am I going to give you the tactical, tangible, SOPs and everything you need to do step by step, but I'm also just going to give you the mental models. So I can tell you right now that however bad your first YouTube video is, it will not come close to how bad my initial content was, okay?
Yo, you're going to look back on your first video and cringe. I look back on my first video and I cringe, but I keep it there just as motivation to understand how far I've come. And I mean, I'm only 1,000 subscribers. But it's just crazy to see once you get the reps in, once you get the practice in of how, how easy it is after time. I would have never done this kind of style in my first video, but you don't know, right? Until you start getting that experience.
When I first started, my content was, quite frankly, excuse my French, it was okay? I was clueless and I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, the cool thing about me is I've been uploading on YouTube now for 10 years. I don't private any of my videos. Go look back at my videos 10 years.
What? What? Wait.
The cool thing about me is I've been uploading on YouTube now for 10 years. I don't private any of my videos.
There's channels built on you deleting your videos. I have the playlist right here. If I click on the video, right? If I click on the video, can y'all see this? Can y'all see what it says right here? It says unlisted. It says unlisted. Okay, all right. Straight face. Let's get back into it.
Go look back at my videos 10 years ago, 9 years ago, and you can literally see a 16-year-old bodybuilder day in the life. I was making all this like a gym fitness content.
Remember, it's only the videos that funnel to like a multi-$1,000 product, because you don't want to have a majority of your audience who can't afford it to always see that that's what your goal is, right? Because if you delete those videos, and as long as you're funneling in 1% to 2% or have some level of conversion rate to the bottom of the funnel, right? Because that's what this is. You only want most of the people going only neck deep, right? Because understanding that deep content's not for them. That's funny.
Content. I was also, talking about what books I was reading. I was documenting as I was, trying to build my first business, which was my agency. I guess at the time I didn't even recognize it as an agency. It was just like, finding clients to pay me for services. At that time, it was mainly content stuff. And you can see right here, after one whole year, I got to one.
Now, he was early to the game in that. So you have to understand that when he was doing the whole social media marketing agency thing, it was relatively new, right? We're talking about 7, 8, 10 years ago. who was doing that? Who was working as a content creator manager? That's, it's quite rare. So being able to duplicate that today, like starting today, there's so much competition. You have, YouTube channels talking about drop shipping. There's too much competition today. When you would drop ship 10 years ago when no one else was doing it, and, it's completely different.
1,451 subscribers. And you would think, okay, cool, first year I get it, it's tough, but after that, growth continues and it goes hyperbolic. No, this, my friend, is 1 year later, 5,206 subscribers. So, and by the way, I was dedicated. I was uploading.
Those are good numbers. If you could duplicate that today, that's a realistically, as long as you're doing it the right way, you're creating long form content, you're able to build an audience. After 2 years, getting 5,000 subscribers, those are really good numbers. I mean, obviously he knew what he was doing. He was in the early days of YouTube, so he still was able to build that audience a little bit faster, but nonetheless, he was able to skyrocket. I mean, you can even see here a little bit after 2025, but it is what it is.
Okay, and I only got to 5,000 subscribers. A lot of people freak out. They're like, oh, it's been a month and I haven't gone to 5,000 subscribers. And at this point, it's led to well over $100 million in career earnings. And to be honest, I can credit a large majority of that to YouTube. Okay. Now, most people get stuck in the beginning stage. They either get started or they quit before seeing the result. But I do not want you to go through this and make the 3 worst mistakes that I personally see people make, which is number
Make sure YouTube is your side hobby and not your main goal of income. I always tell, like, starting this channel, if you want money, go get a job, right? This isn't like a weird thing that you're gonna be a millionaire on YouTube. No one should have that goal because it's not realistic. Most people are going to, you're gonna die out there on the YouTube streets. The easiest way of you will make more money, statistically, make more money doing, McDonald's part-time than you are on YouTube. That's the real cut of it. So make sure YouTube is like a side hobby that you enjoy. It's a niche that you enjoy. It's a topic that you enjoy and that you could talk about it. If you like talking about sports and doing sports commentary, do that. If you like gaming and you like entertaining and you're funny, do that. If you do comedic skits, do that. But don't expect it to be your main source of income. That's really weird that a lot of people think that, and they're gonna, you're gonna realize these streets are cold.
Number 1, overthinking content. Number 2, having the wrong intention going into it. And number 3, overcomplicating the process. I know what you're thinking. Oh, I don't know what to make content about, or I don't have anything valuable to share, or I'm not an expert at anything. Listen, the truth is you do not need to be an expert. You simply need to be one step ahead of someone else. Like, for example, with me, when I was first started making content, I was not like, clearly I wasn't an expert. I was this, 16-year-old, bear in mind, reading a book a week, documenting my journey, me training in the gym, this, that. So yeah, for a lot of people, maybe that wasn't interesting. But for a lot of others, I was just one step ahead of where they were. Or maybe I was one step ahead in one area of their life, and that was enough for them to be like, oh yeah, I would like to follow along on this journey, or I find this content valuable or fascinating. And by the way, the best part is, especially these days in this climate, you don't need fancy equipment. You don't need it.
Yeah, when I look back, you could start 100% on your phone. If you have an old phone, you could probably start off with an iPhone like SE Model 1 today. You have a camera, you have a microphone, and it could probably run CapCut. And most people could get by with talking head and a little bit of B-roll. And if you're not familiar with that model, then you could still do like TikTok vertical green screen model that Gary Vee always talks about.
Experience. You don't need complex strategies. Listen, things were a lot different when I first started. I remember even 7 or 8 years ago, I kind of had to bring my camera everywhere because the phone quality, I think back then it was like the iPhone 7, iPhone 8 or something, like 10 years ago, something along those lines. But I just remember there was like a visible big shift in like, okay, if I'm using my camera or even like back then my vlogging camera, between that and iPhone content. Whereas these days, I shoot stuff on iPhone. I have the most expensive equipment in the world. Even yesterday, I was just in the car. I was coming back from a meeting and I was like, let me just put my phone down in the car and I'm just riffed and I just made a 30-minute video.
To be fair, if you were to do that today, right, you have to have some differentiating factor about you. He was in his Rolls Royce or whatever whatever car he was in. That's a differentiating factor. He already has an established decade-year-old personal brand. That's a differentiating factor. He has however many millions of subscribers. That's a different factor, right? So it's like one of those things. If you're starting today, you have to understand that whatever video topic that you bring up has to sort of be unique, answer someone's problem, has to entertain someone to some degree, right?
Video off the cuff, and just like this video, I had some times where I had to pause and think about what I was going to say next, or regroup to my train of thought, and that's fine. In editing, you just cut it out, you just snip the long pauses or the bits where you're thinking about, okay, how do I tie this back into the first point that I was bringing? Because we all lose our train of thought sometimes, and that's it. You don't need anything fancy. Me in my position where I literally have multiple Red Raptors. If you're not familiar with what that is Netflix grade. That's the stuff they shoot films on, like full grade Netflix.
MKBHD lives by the red cameras. I don't understand why anyone needs to record at 8K. Y'all let me know in the comments. There's no need for that.
Quality. Even though I have that available to me, I still shoot with my iPhone a lot of times because it's just easier. It's just better. So it's really cool because these days YouTube, because of that, is just democratized. Now, all you need is a simple step-by-step plan that actually works. So that way you can stop overthinking your content from someone who's actually been building their personal brand for over 9 years, I guess 10 years at this point. But let me make something very clear. Make sure you focus on the right thing, okay? Intention. I am not telling you here to be an influencer. If you want to be an influencer and you want to be super famous, like that's cool. Maybe watch another video on how to become viral or blow up. I just don't think that's the most important thing. Maybe for you it is. I said maybe this isn't the video for you, but for me, I am here to provide value and build my businesses, okay? That is my goal, my
Yeah, I mean, I think his intention has always been clear from the start on that, building a personal brand. I mean, literally, I'll keep showing you. His goal is to funnel, right? Most content creators, when they scale that large, is to funnel. And having a brand, company, service, system that you're able to migrate and sell your company or sell your audience to helps 100%. I think Orlando, he is a real estate content creator. Most people aren't able to monetize, but he, I think, was able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars when he only had like a few thousand subscribers because he is like a real estate agent who is essentially able to offload his audience straight to buying a home. And you got to think of that, like a 1% or 0.1% conversion rate could still even net you a few, $1,000s doing that.
intention these days than it has been for the past few years. And in the past 3 years, I've gotten more out of YouTube than I did for the 6 or 7 years prior, okay? For me, it is about building an intentional personal brand, and YouTube is your number one tool in order to do that, okay? While most people are chasing vanity metrics like views, I focus on attracting customers who actually want to buy what I sell because views do not pay the bills, whereas customers do. And that's why I told you at the beginning, I have intentionally kept my business channel super small and qualified. I only want to attract high-level business owners here. So you can see right here, this is literally one of my channels with 13,000 subscribers. I could post that content on this channel, with 5.5 million subscribers, but the reason I don't is because the audience that I'm speaking to, as well as the way that I speak, is a lot different there than it is here because I have different goals. So really the reason that I bring that up is just because
Yeah, it's just understanding who your audience is and what kind of content they want. Whenever you're going to be a YouTuber, someone who makes content, you have to understand what your audience wants. It doesn't matter what you like to make. It depends on what your audience wants, right? Like,
I don't want you to think that I'm trying to give you advice here to make you viral and an influencer and super famous. No, that's not the point here. The point here is building a YouTube channel so that way, whatever it is you want to get out of your personal brand, it can serve you. Remember, you should not be a slave to your YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel should be there to serve you as its master. When done right, here is how powerful your personal brand can be. It is the one asset that cannot be copied, replicated, or taken away from you. It is undeniable. And I hear this, people say, oh, AI is so powerful these days. Even if in that specific piece of content, someone doesn't understand that it's, AI and that the video is not made by a real human, later, okay, once they find out, okay, that's an AI creator, everything loses its appeal.
yeah, there's like a level of authenticity that people want from a content creator, right? When you're talking about being able to see somebody, I mean, just look at the Jake Tran YouTube channel, right? Like, I think everyone loved his content once they knew it was a person. His picture was the profile picture, but then the moment that he, I guess, let it be known that he sold off almost every part of it, he no longer had the internal guts. He outsourced everything else. People stopped caring. He even outsourced the voice, which one of those things where the only reason people watched is because they believed the person, right, that was making the content.
No way that channel or that creator is going to grow. Your personal brand becomes even more important because people want to relate with other real humans, okay? So this is the one thing that cannot be taken away from you. Yes, AI can come in and disrupt a bunch of different markets, but it can never take the humanness. It will never be able to remove the humanness out of you. And I think the more human you can be in today's day and age, the more powerful. With a strong micro personal brand, you stop having to chase clients because they come to you. And by the way, that's exactly what happened in my agency. I had an agency for 6 years between 2016 to 2022. And I was able to attract majority of my clients. Yes, we still did outbound. Yes, we still ran some ads, but I was still able to attract a lot of clients simply through inbound, right? Because I was just generally making marketing.
Yeah, because remember in the early days, he was simply also providing a service, right? So most people, when you start a channel, you're not going to be providing a service day one. It's really hard unless like that's already a skill that you're doing outside of YouTube at your normal job, and or you like consulting or trying to build up a a side hustle, kind of one of those processes. But understand, like, coming to the game with that, I'm gonna guess that 0.1% of YouTubers even think about it, day one. So having in mind what your niche is, the topic you're going to talk about, or even understanding that you might have to find a way to pivot later on,
content. So stop chasing, start attracting. And this is what some of these guys have been able to do below. And I'm gonna give you a few examples outside myself, and especially throughout the rest of the video. This top channel you can see right here, one of my good friends, Guillaume, he has a company called Lemless. It's a multi-$100 million software company. So this goes to show that your YouTube channel can basically help grow whatever venture it is. So he has a software company. Gentleman below, a guy called Alex Becker, once again, he's got a software company. What's very interesting about him, he's very similar to me. He has a channel with like 2 million subscribers, yet he posts on this other channel with 20,000 subscribers because he's specifically speaking to a small segment of the market that is the right sort of user, the right sort of client, customer for his software Hyros. And then we have my other good friend, George Hean below. He documents, his entire brand building journey. He probably has one of the most impressive companies that come out of the UK in the last decade. What he's done with Represent, this is more than £100 million a year, £100 million or dollar a year in revenue.
This is a weird thing. So whenever you're starting out in your journey, don't compare to someone who's at the end. Don't compare to someone who's at the finish line. You're still on the couch. The moment you click create channel, start channel, upload, you can't have this weird expectation of that's what the end goal will be, because you're just going to set yourself up for failure. But understand that there's going to be differentiating factors between you and that person you're comparing against. So try to find your own, weird path to break the mold in.
New business, all bootstrap, all from scratch. And one of the biggest levers, why? Because it wasn't always like that. At some point, the business wasn't in the healthiest place. And this isn't private knowledge. He's mentioned this in his YouTube videos before, or podcasts. When he started building a personal brand and really creating founder-led content, that's when Represent went to a whole different scale. And it's actually cool to see in this end of 2024 roundup, he's actually wearing my physical product brand, my eyewear company. I think he's wearing the exact same glasses as me. So yeah, always cool to see stuff like that. So moving on, what is the best way to build a personal brand? Content, okay? Content takes you from invisible to visible. People buy from people. They buy from those who they know, like, and trust. So how the hell is someone gonna buy from you if they don't even know who you are? And by the way, I know some of you guys are saying, well, I don't want to build a personal brand. I have very sobering news for you. You have a personal brand. Do you really think that when you go apply to a private members club, or you try to go buy a Rolex, or you try to apply for a job, or whatever it is that you're trying to do, you really think they don't go look at your social media? Really? Your 300 Instagram followers you have, that is your personal brand. We all have a personal brand. It's just, are you going to use your personal brand to benefit you, or is it going to hinder you? Because for a lot of you guys watching this, your Facebook page.
Here's a weird thing that I've always told people. I would rather be the one creating content on a platform like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, any of the social media forms, right? I would rather have my voice out there and my opinion or my direction out there than just be a consistent consumer. Because you understand, YouTube makes money. But now I benefit from it, which, we'll be talking about my analytics later. So.
Okay? So that's why you want to be very intentional with what you create. Also, I want to make it clear, I'm not saying that in a way where you have to overthink every single piece of content that goes out there and stuff like that. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that you have a personal brand, so let's make the most of it. And let's use it in a way that actually benefits your life rather than taking away, okay? So as I said, the question really is, does it help or does it hinder you? Really think about this. Now, when it comes to creating content, there's one platform that absolutely dominates, YouTube. When someone watches your YouTube videos, they spend hours and hours with you. In fact, the 7-11-4 rule states that a buyer needs 7 hours of interaction across 11 touch points in 4 separate locations before they make a purchase, okay? So if you want to turn a viewer into a buyer, the best time to start is now. And this is how you turn a viewer into a buyer. In fact, now is the best time to start. I don't know if you've noticed over the space of the last few months, but YouTube's made a massive change to their algorithm, and they are now favoriting smaller creators over big ones. I really started noticing this a few months ago, where I'm like, wow, this video has 57 views. Like, why is this in my feed, like in my home feed? And why is this being suggested?
Yeah, you have a chance. Right? Like I've been, on people's home feed, which, you can go over the analytics, but there's a lot of things that he's covering in this video. So I'm going to be skipping forward a little bit just to gloss over a lot of these points. I'm not going to lie, like, rough yaps.
I'm gonna upload your first video yet. I'm not even gonna challenge you to that. So here's what I want you to do instead. I want you to pick up your phone and camera and commit to filming 10 videos. You do not need to post them. In fact, I don't want you to post them, okay? The world doesn't need to see these videos. These are just for you. Pick up your phone, pick up your camera, whatever it is. I just want you to film 10 videos over the next 10 days. So 1 video a day for the next 10 days. Okay, while you're in the car, now bear in mind, 10 and 2 hands on the steering wheel. If you have one of those clip things where you can clip your phone on, just record, talk about your day, okay? So either that or while you're cooking, whatever it is, okay? As long as you're not putting yourself or others at danger in any environment you want to do so, but just chat shit, okay? Just chat shit, and that is it. That is all you're gonna do. You're just gonna record yourself once a day for the next 10 days. It is not going anywhere. No one is going to see it, okay? This is a private video for yourself, and just anything that comes on your mind. It could be the most random. I want you to either tell a story, talk about your day, anything that's on your mind, something maybe that annoys you, something that a lesson that you learned, or something someone said that really opened your eyes, whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? Don't judge yourself. You could talk about, are you a dog person or a cat person, and why? It does not matter. The contents of what you are filming does not matter. It's just getting used to recording yourself, okay? Because for me now...
Yeah, I completely agree with this. There's a creator, Thomas Norman. I watched it when I was first, starting content, and it's essentially the same thing. Do a 30-day talking to camera challenge. You literally build those reps. You build that muscle, because this isn't natural. Have you ever talking to a weird object in your room to yourself? I don't know. I'm not crazy, but I mean, it's not natural for me.
Now it's like second nature. I literally feel just as comfortable recording as I do not recording, okay? And that just takes repetition. So that's why the best thing to do is just record 10 videos that never see the light of day anywhere, okay? So that is my challenge to you. Please follow through with it once a day for the next 10 days. Make sure you go ahead and record. Now, let me break down how to actually crush it on YouTube. And no, you do not need millions of subscribers. All you need is a micro niche personal brand. And by the way, I'm gonna share some basic concepts here before getting into some of the more advanced stuff later on in the presentation. So grab a pen and paper, because no matter where you are in your journey, you're gonna take something from this video. And it all starts with my content trifecta. And here's what I mean. Content is what you create, plan is how you create it, and packaging is how you present it. So let's run through this. Content. Now you might be saying, I don't know what to make content about. I don't have anything valuable to share. I'm not an expert or anything. And as I said, you do not have to be an expert. You already have everything you need in your disposal. And I'm gonna give you an example here. There is a gentleman called Gosha Dulgan. I hope I'm not butchering your name, by the way. And he started making content of things he was interested in, such as personal branding and entrepreneurship. And in just 7 months, he already has 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. By the way, it took me, I think, what, 2 years?
All right, so obviously everyone's journey is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to be sitting here for 40 minutes.
Like James Clear, he's known for habits, or Cal Newport, who's known for deep work. These guys basically own their space because they decided to start and make content on things they genuinely care about.
Yeah, so the number one thing is always going to be make content, provide value, right? Like we can agree to simplify the first 17 minutes of this video with start a YouTube channel that makes content that provides value. 17 minutes we had to sit through that.
And
that's the one thing. Like, he has great quality, great packaging, great editing, great camera presence, all of that. But I don't got 40 minutes, bro.
Resonate with that. But for this to work, you need to provide actual value to your audience. So how do you provide value? Because a lot of people think, oh, well, you just need to you need to make a video like this, a step by step. No, there's many ways to provide value. First is documentation. Document your journey. Don't try to be perfect. Just be real, okay? Open someone's eyes. So share a unique perspective on things. So that with that, you're not giving like step by step. Like,
I agree.
In this video,
I agree.
You're just sharing a thought that you had, and the thought that you had maybe.
That's what this video is, right? You're understanding the commentary of someone else, right? You're understanding a different perspective that maybe no one else is making a video like this. I don't know. Are there other people making videos about Iman Gadzhi? Let me know in the comments. And if no one is, subscribe to the content. What are you doing?
Slightly different. You know, everyone has their unique worldview. So the way that you see a situation is valuable to some people. They're like, oh, I didn't look at it that way. Or education, okay? So for example, this kind of video, share how you do things and what you know. Now, content types, you've got superficial, which makes you known, and then you have in-depth that makes you money, okay? So there's two examples right here. I have one of my videos, how to be a top 1% man in 2024. That was a sort of superficial, bringing in a wider.
Yeah, and he talks about this. You can see right here, you need to do both, right? You can't just, I mean, you can hold yourself to one corner, but as a content creator, people want to see you experience, understand, you know, teach, learn, you know, just run down the entire gambit. But I'm going to skip up a little bit. Now, y'all, obviously, if you want to watch his video, go watch it. But
like they're opposing.
You clicked on this for the commentary.
First things first, you're one of one. You're unique, okay? There's no one out there that has
this. Do not think about clipping up a Joe Rogan podcast. I'm so sick of seeing those motivation clip shorts channels. There's too many of them. No, you're not going to survive. Let's see. Skip to 21 minutes.
We usually hang around or watch people that look like us, talk like us, maybe even dress like us. You know, there's some people on YouTube that only want super raw, uncut, long videos. And there's some people that can't sit past a 10-minute video. And I'll give you an example of this. You've got Jordan Peterson. And
I can sit past an hour-long video, but I need to be learning something. Listen, as someone who's finished their master's program, I understand when I'm yapping and I can identify it. Do you know how many white papers I've written that I just yapped? I'm like, all right, I need to hit like 16 more pages. How do I stretch this out? I know how to yap.
My business channel, or a lot of people only like,
and this is yapping,
just my short form content on different platforms, but would never watch my long form stuff. So I guess all that to say, I'm not trying to appeal to everyone at the same time, okay? And quite frankly, there's also some people that will just never watch me, just in general. Maybe they don't like the way I talk, maybe they don't like the way I present myself. I don't care, quite frankly. I don't care. I'm not trying to appeal to everyone. And trying to appeal to everyone is the number one worst way to grow your brand, and as a byproduct of that, grow your income. I can tell you right now, there's a market for whatever you are into, and it doesn't need to be business related at all. I mean, just look at YouTube right now. People are...
Yeah, here's the thing. If you don't think that you can find a niche, understand there are people talking about history. There are people like reading history. I mean, there are people who are like even reading history in like a specific, you know, voice or ASMR or like any weird niche. Like if you don't think there's an audience for it, go on YouTube and search it. It's super, like there's a rabbit hole out there.
Or crushing with teaching Excel, speed reading, chess, and even meditation. So whatever content, you know, it is that you're creating. Now, obviously, I'm in the entrepreneurship business primarily space. That's why I'm familiar with a lot of creators. And from that, never need to work a day. Well, I guess, listen, YouTube is.
All right, let's skip through some things, shall we? I feel like we understand the gist of the things that he's going to be talking about.
This seems like too much work. Let me show you how simple this can be. Pick one day each week to film. Call it your content day. And I still do this to this day, okay? I schedule a day where I just record 2, 3, sometimes even 4 or 5 videos, okay? That way I can just batch it all together. And this will save you tons of setup time. Second, keep it simple. You do not need fancy equipment. All you need is good audio and a clean background. That is all you did.
I agree.
And still does to this day is record on her iPhone. No fancy setup, no crazy
To be fair, if you're comparing yourself to like one of these like cute girl channels, I don't know. It's not gonna work.
It's just valuable content that resonated with her audience. So let's address your next 90-day game plan. Day 1 to 4, I actually mistyped there, it should be 45, is build momentum. I want you to post 1% of your success on YouTube will come down to your big idea and how you package it. The other 20% content, but the title was very technical and it barely got any views because
You have to understand title, thumbnail, comparison.
having a higher click-through rate. So for your thumbnails, keep things simple. Thumbnail rule of 3.
3 splits. Okay. You know, a lot of this is really good information
really
for
how long you
like
got to hook.
brand new people. And this is the issue that I have with Iman. He's very dangerous because I've seen a lot of, I guess, new people, the bottom 1%, right? Try to funnel as if they are part of his top 1%. So it's just like an Alex Hormozy video where Alex Hormozy makes it very clear that he's only talking to the top. But Iman speaks to a wider audience, maybe this middle section, right? But understand, he'll occasionally post those funnel videos where he says he'll only speak in the business channel, but he doesn't. He posts on his main channel, which has 5 million subscribers. And with that, those bottom 1%, they eventually try to purchase, which, if you don't know, people in the live stream have talked about, I couldn't afford it, but yeah, I have it. I'll see if I like it. That's not, just being in the finance niche, that's not good basic budgeting, right? It's just not good basic budgets. But, it's just different flavor. Obviously, if you like his content and you can afford his content and you can afford his programs and that's what you enjoy, go for it. But if you're someone who's trying to reach and flex and act as if that you're there, but you're not, right? You're trying to drive the Lamborghinis, you're trying to drive the Ferraris. Bro, you got budget light wallets. You're not Ferrari.
Never need to worry about money ever again. Whatever not worrying about money means to you, by the way. For some of you, that's a few extra thousand a month. For some of you guys,
Here, look at this right here. Create more than you consume. And that's what I talked about earlier. I would rather have my voice out there than have a mindless consumption of doom scroll, right? It's just like, that's why I'm making this video. And I mean, let me know in the comments, do you like this kind of content? But let me get into my channel.
Now, before I go, I want to leave you with one final question. Are you going to start building your personal brand today? Or are you going to be in the exact same spot 5 years from now wondering?
Now, overall, I agree with this message. If you're new to YouTube and you want one of these videos to teach you how to sit down and make a YouTube channel, 100%. But understand that there's other channels out there like that, like vidIQ, Think Media. I talked about them earlier, but let me show you my channel. All right, most people aren't going to show you their analytics, but this is my channel. Hit 1,000 subscribers, right? You can see the live count, 1,053, which subscribe to the channel. But my estimated revenue is probably going to be the most realistic number that anyone's going to show you. You're making dollars a day, right? You're seeing right here, I get views. I mean, it's nothing viral, but most people aren't going to be viral. Most people are going to grind, and it's going to take a while. You'll get views, but it'll take a while. And I think that's probably going to be the most expectation setting for most people. But anyways, if you like this kind of content, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.